Good morning. Today is December the 5th, 2022. A little stroll down memory lane today to start. Um, Way back in 1976, yes, I remember 1976. In 1976, I remember I was probably in grade, I think, seven. I remember that we were taken. Our whole classroom was taken to the library of the school where they had a television. Yes, we're talking old school, old school. In fact, I don't think it actually was a television. I think it was actually a movie pro, a movie with a projector displaying the content. Sorry, I'm actually sometimes get confused with how modern everything is and remembering how unmodern everything, or not that it was unmodern, it just was different. Anyways, hmm. The movie that they were showing was an addendum to what we were already learned in class and been learning it from grade school. That is the Holocaust. Um, and this movie was of the liberation of the concentration camps and the bodies that were found, the squalor conditions that these people were forced to live in, the atrocity that was Nazism, and the final solution. And wow, it not only made a impression on me, but the whole classroom. Yes, it's one thing to learn it; it's another thing to see the pictures of it, and it's a big difference to see a film of it. We were all, at least as I remember it, we were all rather shocked, disgusted, scared that we had seen this. I remember it stuck with me so vividly. Wow, it's one thing to, I'm repeating myself, but it's one thing to know of it, it's another thing to see it laid out, as it were. I remember this day so distinctly. I could actually probably give you I could tell you what the library looked like, where the books were, where the film was, how we were seated. We were seated on the ground, on the carpet. I remember it so vividly. I came home. I talked with my parents because they, of course, lived it. They were young. They were born in '36, so they would have been aware of the situation. It stuck that closely to me, and it was horrific, and it made an impression, as you can tell, with everyone. As far as I know, maybe there was some secret supporters, if that's a correct word, but I do remember most of us walking away from it were kind of shell shocked from the experience. That said, 45 years later, I would imagine that this singer, he's now known as Yi, he had a different name before, would watch the same newsreel that we did and cheer it. No, I will repeat that. He will probably cheer it and say there was some good in it. Oh my God. He would. And that, unfortunately, is an extension of what he's been. I don't know how long he's been anti Semitic, but I could imagine it's been a while. And I imagine it was homed in 5 years ago when the leader of the neocons looked at what happened to Charlottesville. If you don't remember, in Charlottesville, there was a torchlit parade of white people carrying their torches, yelling, belligerently expressing that Jews will not replace us. That's their slogan. Will not replace them. Of course they won't. Do you know how small the Jewish population is? That said, they don't care. From their vantage point, Jews will not replace. I actually don't get it. I don't get it one. iota. What I really don't get is how we are 5 years after Charlottesville, we have this Ye character expressing that there was some good in Hitler, inventing the microphone, which I doubt he did, but he considers that a accomplishment. But I think what he really means is that he killed 6 million people for no other reason than that he could. He wanted to, and he hated them enough to kill them. What this Ye character doesn't realize is that this the leader of the Holocaust would have killed him as well. He's the wrong color for the purity of the race that this megalomaniac, this Hitler, wanted to create in the 1930s, 40s, right? I wonder what Ye would say when he's being rounded up in the cattle carts and being shipped off to, yes, Auschwitz, there's others, but he's the wrong color for this movement. He doesn't care. He somehow has got it into his mind that the Nazis created the Autobahn. Well, I mean, they kind of built it. It was a make-work program, right? Sure. He didn't invent it. The Romans are building roads 2,000 years ago. Sorry, Kanye. Brush up on your history a little bit. Come on. He won't, because to do a little bit of research and not just listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about space lasers created by a Jewish nation, and that, by the way, was also 5 years ago. Jewish lasers hitting California to wipe out the forests so they can build, you guessed it, an Autobahn. Okay, in that case, Marjorie firmly believes it has everything to do with a rail line. Same difference. Nazis are so... Really, in today's day and age, it's still a thing. It's still a thing, and it's latched itself onto a certain political movement. And I'm guessing that they accept it within their organization because, to tell the truth, you can say, Alex Jones, for instance, at least I'm not as anti-Semitic as Ye is, or as Marjorie is. But you are! Oh my God, you so are! You can say you love the Hugo Boss uniforms of the SS all you want. But what you're really saying is you liked what the SS was doing, which was killing the Jews. Oh my God, they sent in those troops with their Hugo Boss uniforms into occupied territories, rounded up the Jews, and shipped them off to the concentration camps. I mean, come on. Watch that film, which I saw when I was 12 years old. Pardon. I kind of needed to get this out of my system. It just is so bizarre to me that in 2022, we are having this conversation that these people have latched onto a movement and it's still alive, and they can watch the same disgusting, brutal documentary as I did at 12 years old, which still makes an impression on me in the way I believe it should have. Anti-Semitism is a curse, it's a sickness, it's alive, and it's too alive, and it's way too attached to a certain movement. Anyways, that's it for me. Sorry, a little bit of a rant today, but that's what's going on behind the patch this morning. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a good day.